shit. This is what I really want. Okay, hold on. We're going to be jamming today, guys, about it's Andrew with Phoenix, and we got a lot to cover. But dude, he was just giving me the inside scoop on two big things. Okay, first, let's start with Google and AI. I heard that it crapped the bed with their Performance Max stuff, and that people are getting shitbagged with fake bots that are signing up for stuff. I've seen that it's fucked and tanked the search and the SEO side of stuff. But what was your scoop on Google stuff?
So you are right. It's the AI-driven spam. Remember a couple of weeks ago, or whenever we had a last call, I talked about we caught one of the most latest, greatest bots. It made it.
It actually had a name. Yeah, right.
Had a name, and but no, like Google SEO and Google Ads took a shit in April. Like I've had 14 calls this week. This is Tuesday.
Yeah.
Look, that's why I'm so tired. Like docs who are dedicated on SEO, Google Ads, their leads went to zero for since April.
Yeah.
Huge collapse, and it's like
I've had people. I shout out to my boy Dr. Aaron in Colorado that has had. I mean, this is why I think having one or two growth engines is stupid, because you can't anymore. You can't. So he's like he's always had great. I mean, I would love to shout out the guy he worked with because he's great, but he was kind of a dick to me. So I'm gonna fucking just not. But he's good at SEO. That's the shame thing. But even he was like, dude, he's like, I have no fucking clue, like what's going on. And then I did not hear about the Facebook forums crashing. What was this?
So because of the way Phoenix operates and the way we keep such a high and tight hold on things, but Facebook lead forms broke at the end of April. Like completely broke.
For a long extended period, or
it's not fixed. It's not fixed. Now we do things. If you run ads, fine. This is generic. You can go Chat GPT this, but it's like we build out from the beginning lead forms and landing page campaigns fully overhauled.
So you can get pixel. Yeah.
So we can bounce back and forth depending on which works on the market. Great.
Yeah.
Lead forms, leads click on the ads, fill out the form, find a time that works best for them. That's why Phoenix has a 54% or higher appointment request rate. We fuck with the algorithms to make it work. Lead forms broke. They no longer. They click on the form, they click on the ad, fill out the form. That's our job. But lead forms, they click submit, and it broke. It was cycling, and it's still not fixed. It's hilarious. Shit. We caught it literally 72 hours into it, and we didn't realize we thought it was one or two. It was across the board. It is no longer a tool we even use. Holy shit. And so, I've had 8 different offices. One guy was running his own ads for 6 to 8 months, doing real good, but he was leveraging lead forms because, like you said on the beginning before the call, AI is really cool, but their bullshit doesn't work yet. It's not there.
Well, I did like the update that Facebook did do with lead forms, which is the validation of the SMS stuff, and I was like, that makes sense. But that's breaking news over here. So you guys heard it first. I feel like Edward Murrow here today.
They do SMS really validation. Old. The problem is anything that's Advantage Plus and all that, if you're a contractor in this market, you've received a phone call from one of the thousands of 1099 contractors from Meta telling you how they can help your stuff. I've talked to 6 of them, and they're all talking out of their ass. But
they all say use Advantage Plus. Yeah.
Facebook is designed to do 2 things. That's
Make money.
Make money and collect data. And it wants you to give you just enough once it's learned how to to keep you invested. The problem is we don't want them to learn how, because that's
that's what Phoenix does really well, is it stays ahead of the Facebook game and the algorithm and fucks it up.
But holy shit, you know what I think's funny? I wouldn't be surprised if Facebook's lead form, their new roles, was connected some way to Google Forms or Google servers. There's boom boom. It's painful. And then it's just, we've had so many calls where Google SEO guys, the shitty cookie cutter ad companies they've been with for 2 to 3 years, it was great. Their ads are gone to zero.
Yeah.
Like if you,
Yeah.
holy hell! Like knock on wood, unless shit's broke, we haven't had one client go. Like we've seen collapses. We've seen where payment methods collapse because the Amex is a communist, but it's wild. And of course,
It's
LA's on
funny,
fire.
man. I've switched. You were talking to me offline before we got on this about, you're like, you do Google. I've moved a lot of people over to Google local service ads, which is the model of pay per lead. And they have systems in place that prevent being charged if it's a bot or it's spam or if it's an existing patient. It's not perfect. But it's the same thing I see in a lot of markets where it's like if it's a rural market and there's a large capture area, performs better. Saturated markets, you're getting a lot of the bullshit. So, I mean, I love this conversation about growth engines because I think I was talking to someone the other day about it's like a baseball team. You can't I think what Phoenix does really, really well is it finds the Aaron Judges and the Giancarlo Stanton's, like the guys that are going to hit 50 home runs, hit 350, get you into the playoffs. And you need those studs. Like Phoenix is a stud creator to me, right? Like Phoenix creates the stud ballers that you're like, hey, dude. And it's like, to me, if like even if I'm doing other stuff, I should have Phoenix on as one of my teammates, right? And if I don't have the ability to have other stuff, I should just have Phoenix because that's the home run maker. Like that's where Phoenix I see really wins across the board. Like, but there's the other side where you have to have, and I haven't really watched the Yankees. I'm using Yankee names because that's the baseball I know. But back in the old days, like you had Paul O'Neill's and Scott Boras, and you had Scott Brocious, and you had even Luis Soto, and these guys are getting 280, and they're not going to hit more than 15 home runs. Fuck, Luis Soto wasn't going to hit any home runs. But you need to have some of your growth engines, like your business to business plays, your referral campaigns. You cannot be just reliant anymore, unless you only have the capacity. That's what I'm saying. Where Phoenix comes in, it's like, dude, if you only have the capacity to put and invest in having an Aaron Judge, then go get Phoenix to be your Aaron Judge. Like, because that's what you guys do super well. If you can afford to have Aaron Judge and a couple other platforms, by all fucking means, do that too. But you can't, if you're scaling out, you can't have you can't have just two growth engines anymore in this day and age.
Or if you're wasting more than $1,500 in Google ad spend or SEO spend.
Well, that's a good point.
Jesus.
Well, spending any money in Google SEO right now.
Yeah. I mean, SEO, there's still hope, but like, or if you have a market, if you're sitting in a chiropractic office or any business and you're within a 25-mile radius, there's about 15,000 people.
Yeah.
We need to have a conversation about the proper way to do it because, like, we come out of the gate really hot. Like, it feels really good when we have like 30 people walk through the door in 45 days, but then, we hit creative ad fatigue in 18 days on one market.
Wow.
That means literally there was 18,000 people per the census data. We had 26,000 people see their ads almost 70,000 times in 18 days.
Yeah.
Produced tons of leads, but like it's, they're getting mad. The client got mad at me because they sent us like a half a dozen photos, but like, come on guys, like if you pass by the same dead restaurant 30 times in a week, eventually it becomes invisible. We got to diversify, and there's no point in wasting Google SEO in that market. It's just, I think the crazy thing that's coming, and no one realizes it, is that AI is truly going to be a force to be reckoned with. To where
we were talking about that. Yeah, keep going. Yep, keep going.
What I'm getting more feedback. Like we have an office, in Virginia. He's getting more Facebook calls to the front desk asking, "Hey, I saw your ad on your Phoenix ad on Facebook."
But not going through the actual ad. Yeah.
Is this real?
Oh, well, that's actually good for you.
Oh, I mean, totally cool. I mean, he signed up. He had 20 in the last 19 days. He's had 23 people walk through the door. He closed 18 of them. What a deal! But it's like, I'm over here like, well, I really wish they'd click on the fill out the form, but we could track it. But I think that's kind of the game, brother. It's a wild, crazy ride right now because like AI is getting its legs. It's past the infancy stages, but the problem is most people who are taking advantage of it are the spammers faster
Yeah.
than we are. And because we have, if you're legal and legit, we have to deal with compliancy issues related to AI.
Well, you hit where I wanted to hit, which was AI. I thank you for that. I have two more questions for you
Okay.
today. We're going to start with personal branding. Uh, what who is your what is your favorite movie actor and actress, and why?
Mm. On a Friday night or a Monday night?
Let's go both. Let's go Monday first.
Monday night is I'm a John Wayne. Accent gives it away. I'm a John Wayne El Dorado. I could watch it all day long, every day in the background on loop. But otherwise, I think Kingdom of Heaven probably is a
Kingdom of
pretty
Heaven.
solid one.
I love that movie. I love that movie.
Throwing a little
Uh,
pullback there, but yeah, the director's cut.
the next thing we're talking about is chiropractic news. I'm gonna give you get to pick. I'm gonna give you a toss up. We can talk about the recent news about the I almost died after my chiropractor tore an artery while cracking my neck. That's going all over right this week and the last couple of days. Or we could go business style. Your call. Maryland Chiropractic, and I think this is up your alley too. But a recent chain was just sold to the roll ups are happening in chiropractic. So this is literally in Virginia yesterday. Heard in Virginia based RX Wellness Spine and Health, acquired by a Maryland chiropractic chain with 4 locations. RX Wellness bought All Care Chiropractic and All Care Injury, which have clinics in Baltimore, Silver Springs. And they raised 15 million. It looks like so we're in this. So your pick. You want to talk about strokes and chiropractic? You want to talk about buying up and scaling clinics?
Uh, I'm gonna stay away from the strokes and chiropractic as far as I can. So let's do the business one.
All right. So what your background, and I think this props you up well, dude. I love that. When you see this happening, we are at the stage now where dentistry was 20 years ago, like roll ups, multiple clinics being purchased. I just posted about the Joint doing their buyback on the stock program. We're in a different era. This isn't. We're moving out of the small business Chiro, which is great and bad and scary and exciting, right? Like, what's your take on where we're at in the business world of chiropractic today, and what do you think about clinics getting bought up in multiple locations like that?
One you're talking about in Maryland is a small fish compared to like the one that's rolling through Texas like a hammer. What they're seeing is that while chiropractic is a divided profession, they also know that with this economy that we survived 2020. However, they're also taking advantage of like wellness-based, membership-based programs right now nationally. I don't know if you keep a temper on this, are all struggling. There's not one franchise that I've discussed or met with or talked to related to the gym industry that's even profitable right now across
Yeah,
the entire franchises. So what they're doing is they're buying out blocks and locks because they know if they roll systems procedures and they can basically buy them for pennies on the dollar and then roll. There's a group out of Texas. It's a full investment group. They're buying individual chiropractors completely out, rolling branding, and that's so like in my life. I had the luxury of selling, hospitality chains and franchises. I've done SaaS companies. I
yeah,
think what they're doing is they're consolidating enough to where they can have multiple brands. They're taking it's kind of like if you ever stay at Choice brand hotels. Well, that's what they're
yeah.
doing. They're taking a playbook that's established 40, 50 years back. They're buying up small mom and pops. It's like 3 or 4 the guys who don't have real good legacy planning because the kids didn't decide to become a chiropractor. They're
And they're gonna
buying
steal of a deal, and they're getting a great
for
So
pennies on the dollar. You can ask Austin
yeah,
Cohen how much it costs to launch a new clinic. It's about $100 to $150,000 on a pinch if you want to do more than just adjusting. And they're
yeah.
rolling these systems in play, and they're getting that way. What they're doing is they're buying up in lots, so that way they get a large enough venue. They're out there if they can topple 600 units and become the number one conglomerate, even multiple brandings. They'll turn around and go public and launch that as a unit to capitalize on it. And then they'll either liquidate it or they'll let them ride. It's scary from
Dude.
a perspective of, April and May like historically, like the 7 to 10 years I've been paying attention, has been one of the peak months of the year for chiropractic.
And it was completely reversed this year. Yeah.
This year is completely reversed. Doesn't help that
Yeah.
AI's and Google Ads is shaking to shit. Doesn't help that LA's on fire again. So I think
And Trump and Musk are breaking up.
well, yeah,
I'm
we'll
just
stay away
joking.
from that one too. Publicity is a thing, but I think what the
You
world.
think it's a work? Hold on. You think it's a work?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
You've already seen, like, you watch him there. Elon Musk is posting positive, like posting back up to stuff. They know what the hell they're doing. I think what's
Yeah.
happening is
It's like professional wrestling, man, for me.
I think they know what's coming. There's a financial shift in the U.S. and it's
Yeah.
going to hurt all of us.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think there's big fish in the pond that are connected well enough. They're going to buy out as much as they can while the costs are low, because if they can weather the storm, then they'll come out in 27, 26, 27, or 2030, and it'll be a
Yeah.
whole new ball game. But we have to survive the next 9 months of this financial shift in the economy. And what
Yeah.
kind of weird marketing chiropractor pays attention to this shit? Well, I do, because
Yeah.
you know, we cannot get lost.
Well, that's why you're the only one I can have this conversation with, dude.
Yeah, so it's like the 14 calls I had this like today and yesterday, 6 of them were past the point of saving because they called me last measure. They called to a friend,
Yeah.
and I'm like I've sent 3 people to help them. I had more conversation today about helping people get emergency financing so that we can
Yeah.
even consider launching. Oh, I'm not expensive.
Yeah.
If you can't keep the damn lights on, I don't care how many people I can send through your door if it takes 7 to 10 days to launch. So it's been a weird month, weird wild year. It's going to get worse. Think '08 and COVID had a baby. That's what I'm looking at preparing for.
Yeah. This fourth quarter is giving me algia.
I think fourth quarter is going to be a turn. I think I'm okay with that. I'm waiting for the '08 side of things because I'm in my little lease building space. As soon as the market collapses for commercial, I'll go ahead and buy a building and put my office in it. What a deal!
Well, there's the good side of it. Always a downer, and no, just joking.
No, Jesus. Here's the game.
Joking.
We're coming into. It sounds so bad. We're coming into a time where, like, it's going to be a rough. We're coming into summer. I don't care about who you are. Summer drops. But I think the biggest thing is, like, I've been telling clients all morning.
My analysis is that we're going to go up this. I think a lot of chiros are going to have great summers. Actually, that's
If
why.
they can get their campaigns launched and away from Google by launch by July 15th and fund the shit out of it, they'll have the
Yeah.
best Q4 they've had in a year or two.
Yeah.
But you have to get ready because
Yeah.
it's time. Like I'm telling people, our clients, we're having clients roll back ad spend right now, and to get ready for mid-July to ramp up
Yeah.
and double daily ad spend for 45 days, because
Yeah.
we want 15 to 20x ROI going into Q4, and then ride the wave down through Christmas. But yeah,
Well, thank you for being one of the only dudes I can have this conversation with, man. I appreciate it. And
I like the new app, by the way. It's fancy.
well, it allows us to do some cool stuff. So I can easily cut up and do shorts and reels with this, and I can auto upload into Spotify, YouTube, and it just makes doing this not a pain in the ass for me on a one man journey. So there's some good shit with AI. This has got some good shit, but it's not perfect. Dude, where are you gonna be? Is there any place you're gonna be next? Are you going anywhere? Like any event, seminar, or?
I'm looking at the big one in Florida. I got a lot of clients down there running PI based stuff, and I'd love to hit the big CE event there. I'm trying to figure out. I got to message Dan or Jen with C4C. I need a refresher since I'm probably going to relaunch my little clinic. Making $30,000 a month is cool. I'd like to hit 70 and then do something different. But so yeah, it's C4C sounds cool. Definitely going to pop a CE class probably in Florida because it's ginormous, like 5,000 coming there. I like to fish anyway. And then I think in the summer I'm going to try. If Dan and them don't get me up there in Chicago, I'm going to probably go visit California we got a couple of offices out there that are killing it, and I would love to go and visit and shake hands, kiss babies, see the
Yeah,
Pacific Ocean, do that kind of stuff.
and watch LA burn.
It's not burning. That sounds
Yeah,
like a good
yeah.
idea too. Well, can you
Well,
imagine
love
my
to.
accent?
Well, no, they love you out there, man. They're all into like the California. I mean, I did it for the years I did it, and it was weird enough. But I think I hear Billy might have Cal Jam back, so that might be good for you. If it's not this year, it's next year. So, um, dude, you should get to Mile High. Yeah, that should put on your radar. I'll tell you what, man. September in Denver with all
Preach the tick.
yeah. Well, the thing is, man. I'll tell you this, and Danny will love hearing this, but like it does have one of the best bar after party scenes.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons I always go. You know, we did a me and Austin Cohen did a after hours at the last C for C. I think it was the first time Dan was like, "Holy shit! Like, did you take a photo of that?" Hanging out because usually everyone leaves. And I did a good job this time of being like, no, I'm your party master. Just come hang out with Twisty. I got mushrooms. I got Molly. I got whatever you want. And but because these guys like to party, so Denver is a good party one. But I always had a good time. I'd love to see you in person again if you can make it to August in Chicago. Yeah. Drinks are on Austin. So
That's right. He's probably got one of the best cutting edge softwares coming out defining what true PVA and black holes are. I'm really excited to see what the next iteration looks like. Really, really. I got.
Well, if you guys could get together with stuff, I think integrations with what you're doing and what he's doing would be powerful for everybody.
I already told him not to threaten me with a good time because he's the closest one out there who's got it figured out. And I think the next iteration of the software is going to be a game changer for Kairos. It's going to be awesome.
Well, dude, I love what you're doing with staying ahead of the game with people that want to either get their Aaron Judges, you want to have your home run hitter with Phoenix, or if it's the only bat that you have at play, you've got options, but really limited out there. But the two best options, one is Phoenix, the other is Phoenix. If you read what I'm saying, guys. Let me love to you, man. I'll jam with you later, dude.
Yeah, brother. We'll see you next time.
Bye.